I overheard my wife telling her friends in graphic detail how good her insane ex was in bed, and now I'm questioning our entire marriage. I feel almost silly making this post because it's such a topic online these days and there's probably a billion other posts about it. In the past, I would have said the past is the past, they're with you now, but now that I've experienced it myself, everything is different. I've been with my wife for 4 years, married for 1. When we met, she was deep in therapy due to the trauma she got from a mentally messed up ex. I'm not gonna spill all of her business, but this dude really was a grade A lunatic and is likely either in an asylum or prison right now. Over time, we would sometimes laugh about his shenanigans together because he really was unreal. I'd tease her from staying with a dude like that for so long and she'd just say she was young and stupid as heck. Last night, we had 2 female friends over and I got sick from something we ate and went to lay down. I urged her to keep talking to our friends because she never really socialized much. At one point, I heard her mention her crazy ex. I listened in because the stories are absolutely hilarious and I knew our friends would die laughing. One of them asked my wife how the heck she dealt with his bull crap for a whole year. I expected her to say what she always said to me, I was just a grade A idiot, but things took a sharp turn. She kind of hushed her voice to a whisper and said this dude was a dang menace in bed. Their reactions were shocked and amused and my wife kept on and on. As much as I hate to recall what she said, I must add it if I want valid responses, so here we go. 1. They did the deed 4 times a day, every single day. 2. He was never ever soft apparently. 3. He did her anytime, anywhere, and was willing to do it in front of anyone. 4. He'd go downtown while she was on her period, apparently she loved this. 5. He ate her caboose, which she claimed she didn't want me to do. 6. He woke her up with love making every single morning. 7. He did her while she was on the phone with her grandparents, apparently she loved this. 8. He had her in positions she didn't know existed. 9. He spit in her mouth, apparently she loved this too. 10. He left marks all over her body. 11. He took her body whenever the hell he wanted and she could do nothing about it. And sadly that isn't even all, but screw remembering more. She was just waxing poetic about this dude's bedroom skills right there in our living room while I lay 12 feet away. She ended it with I'm glad I got rid of him, but let's just say, there was some good in him. Our friends were just cackling and dying. I was mortified. I now kind of feel like our marriage is a sham. Am I the safe dude she sought comfort in after having her crazy hot unavailable dude? I don't want to be anyone's safe dude. Not to mention she never said anything about this to me, which is probably a good thing, but I feel like she intentionally misled me about their relationship. Am I wrong to question everything? I don't even think I can look at her the same way now. Edit, I decided to just be totally honest with my wife and mentioned what I heard. She was extremely apologetic to the point of tears. Said she had drank way too much and regretted saying any of that at all, even before she knew I heard. She even sent a long message to our friends apologizing for her behavior long before I even made this post. Regarding what she said, she did admit that all of it was true, albeit slightly exaggerated for comedic effect. She made clear these points. She adores lovemaking with me and he was no better. She was raving about how she felt at the time, not now. She had only one partner before him who was very vanilla, so it was new and exciting for her. I am free to do everything he did to her, and she would never say otherwise. The lovemaking was insane because he was insane and those two things are permanently linked to her. She doesn't see him as an alpha or a bad boy type, she sees him as a screws-loose love-making fiend and recognizes that what he did with her, he would have done with anyone. He never even made her finish, made me feel a lot better, not going to lie there. She felt absolutely horrible and told me she understands if I want a divorce but begged me to forgive her for her drunken stupor. I could see in her eyes that she was sincere, so I'm going to try to forgive her, but it will take a long time for her words to leave my brain regardless. Update, currently, my wife is at work and I'm a mess at home. For the edit in my post, I decided to be honest with my wife about how I felt about what I heard. She was extremely apologetic, to the point of tears, and assured me that she was just drunk and what she had with her ex was nothing compared to what she has with me. I was ready to forgive her, but when I woke up in the early morning to all of your guys' replies, my head started running in circles. I got the sudden desire to check her phone. I didn't even think I would see anything. I just wanted 100,000% assurance because I knew I'd never feel at peace otherwise. I waited for her to wake up and asked if I could see it. She was a little weird about it but ultimately said she understood and unlocked it for me. I checked everything message related, texts, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Instagram DMs, Discord DMs, Reddit DMs, etc. etc. I saw nothing suspicious in the slightest. Then I saw a really interesting looking app and went to click on it for curiosity's sake. My wife freaked out and forcefully grabbed her phone back. My heart instantly dropped. She said it was just a journal but she didn't want me to see her weird and embarrassing thoughts. Her intense reaction made me kind of paranoid though. I told her I knew she was a weirdo when we got together and those thoughts wouldn't bother me. She still refused to show me and said she deserved privacy. I started worrying that it was a secret messaging app, so I asked her to at least let me make sure it was really a journal. She gave in and gave me her phone but told me to give it back as soon as I could see it was a journal. So I opened it and it was indeed a journal, but a few headlines popped out at me that made my heart drop, one of them being "It's been 5 years, get the heck out of my brain already." She left her ex 5 years ago. She tried to grab her phone back but I went into the bathroom. She was freaking out and begging me to give it back, but I needed to read this particular entry for my peace of mind. My worst fear was a reality and she was indeed talking about her ex, even name dropping him. She talked about not understanding why she couldn't stop thinking about him, how she had constant wet dreams about him, how she missed how his hands and lips felt on her body. It was a nightmare to read but I kept going, partially hoping to see some sign that it wasn't as bad as I thought. That sign never came. On the plus side, it was obvious that she indeed hadn't spoken to him since before we met, so cheating wasn't a concern. But it was equally as obvious that she's been thinking about him for our entire relationship. I scrolled through other entries and half of them were about him in some way, either how badly he traumatized her or how much she missed being intimate with him. Time came for her to go to work, so I handed her her phone. She was crying and apologizing like crazy and begging me to see that she loved me. She was just sick in the head. She said she thinks her brain is permanently messed up and she hoped that with time these torturous thoughts would fade, but they haven't. I told her to go to work and I'd figure things out here. Now I'm here with zero clue on what to do. I love this woman. Never loved any woman more, and I've been with my fair share. But I know her words will never, ever, ever leave my mind. Every time I look at her I'll wonder if she's being tortured with thoughts of him. Every time we make love I'll wonder if it's me she's seeing. I hate that most of you were right. 4 years utterly wasted. Edit. Some of you may be disappointed, but I have decided to get my wife therapy and work on this. She was in therapy when we met, but she didn't even tell that therapist, who was more like a school counselor, about her ex, just her resulting angst and depression. She needs to speak to a professional about the situation with him specifically. Personally, I've come to the conclusion that her tie to him is a sign of mental illness more than anything. If she really wanted him, she would have reached out at least once all of these years. He didn't cut contact, she did. She even showed me proof of him begging her to talk to him again for the entire year afterwards. I'm not happy about what happened and I will be in therapy for it as well. I love her and I know she just is not at her healthiest mentally. If after this therapy she still feels the same way, then I will leave her. But I can't leave until I can make sure. Thanks for all of your support, sincerely.